I'm going to switch it up because this morning kind of, I'm Primo Orpilla, by the way. Yes, I did fly 14 hours yesterday to get here, and I'm enjoying Poland quite, it's quite nice. It's a little cooler than San Francisco, but it's a beautiful city, and I'm going to get a tour this afternoon. But I want to give you a little background. So I started my firm in 1991. And that was in Sunnyvale, California. No one knows where that is, but that's the Silicon Valley. My career pretty much started in Sunnyvale, Fremont, Palo Alto. So I would say I've spent probably the better part of my career, 30 years of it, in one territory. These 10 topologies are kind of the way we strategize space, and you've seen them, you've heard different definitions. You're going to hear what O+A has come up with in terms of how we define space. Every executive discusses it. It's about retention. It's about recruitment. It's about getting the right people. How do we inspire and how do we get employee engagement? Somebody take a look at it. How can we democratize? How can we take down some of what is typically a hierarchical office structure? How do we make it less hierarchical? Think of it very casual furniture. Think about what you do in the living room. You know, you kick your feet up, you relax, you kind of take pause, and your interaction with somebody is usually more nuanced and more casual and more relaxed. Of all places, Cisco Systems. So we have just done all the basically it's called the reboot. All the Cisco offices in San Jose no longer look like Cisco Mauve, I mean just 65-inch high panels. They now are beginning to look like living rooms or WeWork spaces. So individual work areas, we do have a lot of benching, but we still do private offices. This is my office in San Francisco, all benching, kind of very open plan. Uber, this is kind of a hoteling. There's no desktops, it's all. So workshop is a space that we discussed with our clients in that you need a space where there's no technology. So the absence of technology is kind of the new thing in the Valley. It's like, can we put our devices down for a while and just kind of talk to each other? Maybe not Boris, but some people can. The idea is that we are on our devices and we are hardwired. I'm going to show you another topology that we've developed for a show, but this is something that we feel working on your bike, working with your hands, putting a tool. But I wanted to show you that because it puts all this into kind of order and context for you. So you got the long version. So this is actually a new space that we've developed for Microsoft, and it is in Redmond, and it is about Office of the Future and conferencing in the future. This might be what the office looks like in the future. We're going to have probably fully immersive conferencing. So these are actually done with some of the Microsoft product. There are like 32 cameras in this conference room. So you can catch your kind of every gesture, kind of where they are in the room, and then the people that come into the meeting, they're kind of like in the space with you. This, we actually saw some of these. These are just more kind of the Uber settings. I'm going to quickly go through this, and I'm going to go to our last project. Nike, if you want to see Nike. Okay, so the last project here is what we did at Milan last year. Essentially, it was a journey. And the journey was like 4 different settings. And these journeys had a little bit of a ritualistic aspect to it. You either had to put on a jacket or you had to put on a backpack. And around these little settings, you would actually build these pieces. And that would begin your experience. That help you rest. That help you regenerate your battery. Here's a little bit of the backpack. It's kind of fun. We actually had an experience designed by Microsoft. So Microsoft developed a part of one of these experiences, sort of this ice sculpture that when you put on the visor, you kind of stared at it, and all of a sudden these elements, and you'll see how that works. Want to know more about the topologies we've published? This is actually a book that I use to teach with. I teach this course at a university. So the topologies are something that we do have some literature on. So if you didn't get enough of it, leave me your card and I'll get you one of these books. But thank you very much. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I'm a little early.